Hello, hello. Welcome to today's messages. Let's tune in to the frequencies of today. Today seems like a B day. And this one. Yay! Okay, let's see what Spirit has for us to think about today. What are we discussing? What messages are going to come up for us for our greatest and our highest that aligns with love? You are looked after, okay? Reassurance from a spirit. You are looked after. Believe it. Believe it. Okay, what's this one? Responsibility. Beautiful. Responsibility. So we got a 12 and a 31. You are looked after. Responsibility. I feel like your responsibility to your peaceful nervous system is why you are looked after, is how you are looked after. It's like your efforts and maintenance to tune yourself is exactly the same thing that promotes, supports, and encourages protection, right? Lower frequency, lower vibration things cannot exist in a high vibrational environment. Your attention and resilience, your ability to tune yourself to the love frequency, it is what is creating a safety net around you to protect you. Okay, if anything, it is also the your lifting of your higher vibration, your higher frequency, which is allowing your divine spirit team to better protect you, whichever way you want to look at it, right? But your continued dedication and work on your frequency is what is contributing to your overall gorgeousness. To your overall gorgeousness, okay? I don't know. It keeps slipping out of my hands. All of the cards on the floor, okay, are relevant apparently. Okay. When I was younger, not too long ago, up until not too long ago, I would miss a lot of people's negative behavior because, well, a lot of people project their negative behavior through sarcasm. And so I would miss that it was sarcastic and think that they were just saying it, like when somebody's like, you're awesome, but they're like, oh, you're awesome. And I'm like, yay! Yep. So there's something about, like, I always used to think, well, and it's on the line here. Naivety, right? Where somebody's blatantly lipping you off in a passive aggressive way, and you're just in your own little world, and so you're like, yay, yep, okay, thanks, or whatever. Like that memory that I have, me and my Oma sitting on my mom's porch, and my Oma and I are sitting, and my aunt is standing there, and she said something. She was trying to lip me off about my outfit, right? She said something, and I kind of was like, oh yeah, I love thrift stores. Like, I go there all the time, the thrift, right? And find all these treasures, and then I look down at myself and I'm like, actually, everything that I'm wearing today is from the thrift store. And my aunt, she just goes, clearly, like she did something like that, right? And I was like, yeah, right, like, yep, like it wasn't I didn't take it any other way than like her seeing that it was true, right? And then my Oma started to speak and do something, and I was kind of like, okay, now I'm getting attention from my Oma, right? And then when my aunt left, my Oma turns to me and she's like, you need to stand up for yourself. And I was like, what? Where? When? How? What? Like, it totally. And then she pointed it out that my aunt was being whatever, right? And I totally was like, what? But now that you pointed out, now I can see, and whoa, I totally missed that, right? And then it made me aware of how much in my life people have responded, spoke to me, talked down to me, dismissed me, did all this kind of thing. And I missed it. And I'm actually kind of grateful, right? It was that ignorance is bliss, right? Like, I feel like that was my protection. Anyway, so that's an example of how your high frequency, your high vibration can literally change the environment for you, right? That may have been the case, but in my world and from my perspective, it wasn't. And so it had no, like, if I can imagine if I would have taken on all of those times, right? I feel like maybe I would have been more jaded or suspicious or defensive or combative even, right? And feel awful. So I'm glad of my protection, right? My high vibe. Okay, so your responsibility is on how you choose to engage and receive what is thrown at you. Even when you are aware that somebody is being passive aggressive or sarcastic, to still choose to receive it as if they're not, right? And just think about that. It's almost as if you don't care what other people think. And that's where we want to get to, right? My aunt is also very plain, right? Plain Jane. She gets her outfits from, a store. And I was going to say, what was that outfitter one? Like Northern Reflections or something like that. And, she's highly concerned about being perceived as whatever. Like the fact that she's the kind of person who would look at a family member and judge them based on what they wear and where they get their clothing from. That's somebody who is not, who's fearful of that same criticism, right? Of being looked at. And maybe she's also somebody who wouldn't be able to miss that sarcasm and hold it in, right? A lot of people are sarcastic and deflective and judgmental of people because of their own projections and fears of being harshly judged, right? And I don't know. Okay, let's see. I realize I've just been yakking and none of these cards are like, we gave you all the cards in the world. Okay, Actuarians. Let's get something here from you today. Thank you. What's this one? I always forget this one. Is this one loyalty? I don't know. I guess and I don't know. It is awareness. Okay. The energy of awareness makes you see that there is more than things than meets the eye. Okay, let me say that again. The energy of awareness makes you see that there is more to things than meets the eye. It keeps you in the here and now and makes you alert. Okay. Okay, your awareness is your responsibility, what you put your mind onto. Even when I found out that I had received the comment different than it was meant, I still, in that moment, chose to not take it on, right? I chose to just be like, okay, whatever, right? Because the end of the day, I loved all the things that I was wearing, and I enjoy thrifting. And so, yeah. So the awareness on how you perceive and receive, there you go, is your responsibility. That is your responsibility, okay? This is how you look after yourself. This is also how you signal to the universe something, how you want to be treated, right? And along the lines of you get more of what you focus on. If you're always focusing on how critical and judgmental people are, you start to become critical and judgmental of yourself, right? Okay. Who's gonna come up the that one? Okay. Who's this? It's Tiwa. So beautiful. Beautiful. I opened up on it. Justice, honor, sacrifice, loyalty, and victory. There's your loyalty. I was feeling the loyalty, okay? The justice. I feel like this is for all those people, Dragonfly, who passive aggressively projected and sarcastically complimented you. Your justice is to find those, or those find you, who are sincere, who actually mean what they say, who see you and value you as you are, what you do, what you bring, all of that. Okay? The honor. This is part of integrity. This is why I always had a hard time with sarcasm. It feels unkind and unnecessary, right? I guess it's not like I am never sarcastic. I just try to maintain a level of awareness on when, right? Time and place. There are people who only speak sarcastically. And as an autistic, it's very confusing. I had this family reunion. I hadn't seen some of my cousins for a while. I don't know what they got up to, right? And my cousin speaks, well, my whole family, they're very sarcastic people, which is why I had a hard time. But somebody said something. He was kind of like, oh, if only somebody knew CPR, or like he made some sort of comment about like, well, it's not like I went and got certified in this area, or, you know, it was something like that. But really he had. And I was so like, what? Like, that's kind of how I live my life, trying to understand, like, people just say what you mean, and then I don't have to guess, because I'm like, okay, so you want me to know that you're meaning the opposite of what you're saying? Yeah, it's too much work. Okay. From the greatest heights, the eagle has a balanced and broad perspective of the world, liberated from the tight personal viewpoints of those on the ground. Okay, this is the big picture. This comment, this judgment, this projection, when you pull up and see it from the big picture, it's not enough to take you off your path. It's a pebble in your shoe. You just reach down, pick it out, chuck it, and keep on keeping on, right? It's not the, what is it? Soccer? Is it soccer that they do that? Where somebody like accidentally brushes up against somebody and they're like, I'm wounded, you did that on purpose, right? And then they turn this whole thing into a thing, and it's not a thing. Okay. So eagle eye view, right? This like, okay, it's not even worth me acknowledging, responding, you know, it's like, okay, bye, right? And they're like, and you're like, and that's it. Move on with your life. Okay, dragonfly. He is privy to the universal and cosmic ordering principles that, with higher consciousness, bring true and beneficial law and justice to the world. Tiwaz has a righteous warrior energy. Honor is its defining quality. With this rune comes the promise of a good and just outcome. The scales will be balanced. Okay? Yes, also Emperor vibes. Okay, being able to see the lay of the land, also sacrifice. In the sense of like sacrificing that interaction for the good of all, right? I am not going to feel offended or let it get under my skin or affect me in any way, because it's meaningless. It means nothing. It means nothing to me if someone has a problem with, my thrifting. It's like, okay, bye. I'm getting really good at that. Okay, bye. Okay. Okay, let's see what's coming out in the tarot. I'm steadily working on my new tarot deck, and I love it. I'm just basically redoing my old mini D deck, and then I'm gonna have it on my website. Okay, in case somebody wants it. Okay, so I've got the Three of Swords coming out here. Okay, this is your heart wounds. This is the wounds of the past. This is you removing all of those things and forging a new sword. Your sword of truth. Right? These are the things that make us stronger, and they actually give us the tools we need to succeed, right? In the same way as, all these stabs in the back, you pulling them out, now you got all this metal, right? This is alchemy. Dragonfly. Turning, base metal into something strong, into your sword of truth, right? It's like maybe all those wounds of the past were a result of you not speaking your truth, right? And you had enough of the experiences that you are now able to forge through your healing work your sword of truth. And with this, you now are one who will not be distracted off your path, will not be stabbed again, because your sword of truth will cut away any who are holding dagger-like intentions. You'll see them or feel them or cut them free before they even get close to your heart space. This is part of the value of contrast and adversaries, right? Is strengthening. Okay. And this dress was not thrifted. Okay. Just so you know. I mean, not that it matters, but it's from Market of Stars. Every once in a blue moon, there's something that I can't find at a thrift store. Okay. Okay, we got the Four of Pentacles. Okay, this is what this inspired, encouraged, was a result of, moved you towards, right? This is what contrast does. It helps to refine and define ourselves and our experiences into what we don't want. What we do want, right? Every time we are experiencing a thing and it is not what we want, we are further defining what it is that we do want. Sometimes we don't know. We don't know what we want. But we get closer to it every time we brush up against something that we don't want, right? Okay, but this balancing and peace, this pulling away and being like, I'm tired of having my heart stabbed by these freaking people. So I'm gonna do what I need to do to make sure that that doesn't happen again, right? And this requires a balancing, a going within, a grounding, a connecting. We've got your physical, your emotional, your mental, and your spiritual. All of the areas are in perfect balance. And this connection to your spirit team who are gathered above you. Yes. This one. There you go. And then you got really, really good at this to the point where it's easier for you to plug in, to connect, to center. And the blooms, the growth that results from this connection. Beautiful. Whoa. Okay, and this has been the process. It started with the wounds, and then it moved, it encouraged, inspired, right? The balancing, the making different choices, the taking responsibility for your own life, for your own feelings, for your own responses and actions and all this kind of stuff, and getting really, really good at creating that connection, right? The moon here, your intuition, your higher self, and the staff, this grounding, right? I feel like it's like learning how to ground, how to center, how to be aware and take responsibility for all areas of your life, and then nurturing that process. Because we've got the Seven of Pentacles, so the 4 turned into a 7 here. This is through your dedication, right? This is through your focus and your awareness. This is part of your responsibility, taking responsibility for your field, right? Okay. And look at these two powerhouses of a card that comes out after, okay? This dedication to the light turns your wheel in your favor. This is why you are looked after, because you have claimed and taken responsibility of your self and are mindfully choosing love and light at every junction. This turns the wheel in your favor. This contributes to your looked afterness. It is both. It's the co-creation, right? It's both you and your spirit team. Again, with that, lifting yourself up so that you are more accessible to the divine, because you're like tuned into the right station, and this lift brings you out of the denser, lower, predatorially energies, right? This is the victory. This is the victory that Tiwa speaks of. Okay, this is also the sun energy, right? Where is the sun? It's not in the tight, focused interactions and engagements on the ground. The sun is up, overseeing all of the things of the eagle eye view, right? There's you moving forward confidently, forging your way. This is your pioneer spirit, right? I'm consciously moving myself into higher frequencies of living, of being. And that's a beautiful thing. And this is getting your sea legs or your land legs, whichever way you're going, right? Oh, this is part of your self-mastery. And it all started with the wounds to your heart. I feel like this part of the release, part of the peace and release, right? Not you're forgiving all of the rejections and misdirections. You're starting to understand that all things have always been working in your favor, right? You start to show gratitude for the contrast, for the pains, because it helped to motivate you to connect, to find peace, to nurture your connection, and to push through, move through. Here you are again on the land with your sword, right? That you forged from the pains of the past, right? This is part of your lens, your wisdom center, your third eye knowing. That's what contributes to self-mastery. You know, it's like thinking of that movie, the Robinsons. This is funny, actually, the bowler hat guy. It's good. It's good. Anyways, Meet the Robinsons. That's what it's called. And it's a cartoon. I don't know if it's Disney or Pixar or DreamWorks, one of those guys. Anyways, and this kid, what happens? I think he gets picked up by another kid from the future, and he goes into the future and he meets this this family, and he stumbles on this room or something about this family is different from his family because they celebrate their mistakes, because they acknowledge that every mistake is one step closer to realizing the thing that they're trying to create, right? And so the father has a whole room full of every mistake because they are like the stepping stones that led him to his success, and every one of them were necessary parts of the process to getting there, right? And so it's like this honoring by putting them in their plinths and having them displayed like a museum or something like that. It's this acknowledgement, right? And this is where we want to get to with ourselves, is to be able to honor, but also release, like understand. It's like when you get a new superhero outfit, when you do that, and it's time to put the old one away, right? But you're not just going to crumple it up and throw it in the waste bin, right? You want to like put it up, and so you can see, like, I remember when I used to have a cape, but now I'm, running around in a cat suit. I don't need a cape, right? And this is a natural progression of your superheroism. I don't know where we're going. Okay. And then we've got, the Four of Swords here. This is your remembering to honor, right? Sticking on a plinth, those old versions of self that have been put to death, right? In order to, they're like the foundation, like the legs of the table that your new self can stand proud and tall upon. If you are wishy-washy about those old versions, about those legs, well, so too is the platform of your new self standing upon, right? So this honoring of the old versions, of the old relationships, of the old contrasts that helped you to define, you want to solidly release them so that they can be the sturdy foundation that your new rises on from, or something like that. Okay, we'll go through one more time after a little shuffy and a split, and we'll see if anybody else wants to come out for this reading today. Okay, one more time. Okay, we got tons of cards and a bunch flipped. Okay, so this one's right in the middle, and it is messages coming in. Beautiful. This is a natural byproduct of this connection, this tuning, this lifting, this awareness. You are going to be receiving things that mirror your frequency. Okay, and then we've got yes. Yes, this is the big picture, right? This is the thing you are fiercely protecting. This is the thing you are sacrificing, those little instances that mean nothing on the big picture. I'm not going to pick that up. I'm not going to get my, panties in a twist about that. I am just going to be like, okay, bye. Right? Okay. Then we've got a tower, okay, and this was on your ability to ground, center, and be stable, be sturdy while the things crumble and fall around you. It's none of your concern. You recognize that the old needs to crumble and fall for the new to be built, right? The tower represents the tear down, the crumble of the old. This could also be a reflection that is coming in to help to shift your physical environment to better match your internal. Okay, because we've got you standing in your sitting, in your beingness, in your pentacles. This is beautiful because we started with the oh, I guess it was swords. But the Four of Pentacles to the Seven of Pentacles, and now you're a queen, okay? The feminine energy of being independent, self-sufficient. Look at the size of the moon now, right? This connectedness. This is that growing. Where are we? This is the dedication, right? And then here we have your conscious efforts to create a beautiful, balanced world. Okay, this is part of your awareness. We've got seeing through the veils, right? We've got your perspective being up and outside of the things. We've got the wand here, which is holding within it the triangle with the circle around it, which is in the Arcturian keys, it represents balance, right? It's balance between the masculine and feminine. This is how you create worlds. This is how you direct your energy, this balance between being and doing, receiving and releasing, right? Okay, and then we're just gonna see these cards that flipped over in the deck here. I felt at least one. The Judgment. There's your rebirth. Beautiful. Rebirthed into the Fool. Oh, wow. And then these three flipped together. Okay, so yes. Okay, we've got the Judgment and the Fool. There you are. The birth, the phoenix from the flames, okay? The 0 point, the start, the forging ahead. The faith that you are looked after, right? Jumping, trusting in your own ability to fly because you're a freaking phoenix, but also your connection with spirit. This is really standing out to me, the 4, because we've got the 4 and the 4. Okay, so I'm going to say 444, something about 444 here. Because 3 and 1 there with the responsibility is also a 4. But if you look, these 4 angels. So this physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, these areas of things that you have released because you released those things, right? Could be fears, doubts, limiting beliefs, and people-pleasing tendencies or something like that, right? By releasing them, you allow them energetically to serve you. And they contribute to your rebirth. Something like that. Okay, and then these 3 came out. So this is a hair tickling my neck. Okay, this is the work that you have been doing to produce a legacy, right? This work. Also look at the results of your work. Looks very much like the pentacles, the blooms. Oh yeah, and 10 of Pentacles. Crazy. Okay. Beautiful. And then we've got your passion. We've got sparks of inspiration. We've got the flash of light, of clarity. Okay, so your work paying off and it igniting newness. Something like that. Okay, that's been the work. I feel like this is where it's leading to abundance and inspiration. Let's put those guys over here. Okay. Okay. Who wants to come and validate these messages? The crystals? Okay, crystals. So the fours, balance, right? Stable, sturdiness, like the table you stand on. We got a 43. Okay, and it was just 4453. So that's something. Okay, something with the fours. Communication, contact, connect, and engage. Effective communication is the basis for personal growth and change. Your sword of truth, right? That we discussed. Yes. It provides the knowledge to evolve beyond the beliefs and behaviors of the past. Communication comes in many forms and may be received through symbols, language, and intuition. Okay? Yes, messages coming in. This connection that you create, right? We saw the evolution, beautiful, to your self mastery, gorgeous. Trust your inner guidance and know that the information you have been receiving will continue to redefine your reality. Your spirit guides rejoice and wish for you to know that further clarity will be gained. Engage the world with humility and compassion as you revel in life's journey. Your desire to connect with the deepest levels of universal understanding will expand your light throughout this world and beyond. Your desire to connect with the deepest levels of universal understanding will expand your light throughout this world and beyond. This is your legacy. The work that you do, contributing, right, for generations. This tree is blooming and will continue to bloom because of your hard work, because of your maintaining of it, right? You're feeding it, you're caring, you're tending. Now it is blooming. Gorgeous. Okay. Where are we? That one's here. This one's here. Okay. Okay. Beautiful. And somebody else wanted to come up. Let's get a love card. Expression. Oops. And ownership and acceptance. Okay. Is that everybody? Yes. Okay, acceptance. You are ready to release control of situations or people and lovingly embrace the rhythms of life. Okay, this is exactly it. Release yourself from engaging with low frequency comments, interactions, right? It's like when you're scrolling and you see something you don't like, you can choose to, I don't like this, and the fact that you're making me look at this when I was on my thing and blah, 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 right? Don't do that. Just be like, I don't like this. Move on, right? Or I don't want to see this anymore. Move on. This is the big picture. This is the maintaining of your emotional regularity, right? Okay, ownership. Responsibility. You acknowledge your misdeeds and accomplishments alike and learn to love them all as lessons. Beautiful confirmation. Yes, right? The stepping stones that leads to success. Every step is necessary to get there. And expression, you are ready to manifest your thoughts and transform them into acts of love. Beautiful. Yes. Yes, and okay. Yes, and okay. I wanted to look up the fours here for you. the 444. Okay. What is the meaning of 444? It comes to you as a sign that your angels are with you, guiding you step by step, and your prayers have been heard. You are not alone. Remember that the universe sees all you have done and all you have gone through and attracts that positive energy back to you. Your commitment and determination towards physical and spiritual health and wellness will be rewarded. It showed the progression, right? And where that leads. Gorgeous. 444 recognizes that you have surrendered to receiving assistance. You may even recognize the work of the angels through serendipitous or unexplained moments. Yeah, we have those all the time, right? Okay, gorgeous. Beautiful. Let's look at it together. This is the gorgeous spread. Okay, yes, it's all led to your self mastery, to your rebirth, right? The wounds of the past were an important part of your process to the turning of the wheel in your favor, to your balancing and your peace, right? Have gratitude, have patience. You are looked after. Your responsibility is your awareness on your ownership and your expression and acceptance and gorgeousness. Okay? Yes. Love and appreciate you and hope to see you next time in another reading. Love you and bye for now.